Are you serious? Are you serious? Folks, let me just say right now, we've got some horrific news coming out of Florida. Isaac Hunter, 36-year-old founder and former pastor of the Summit Church in Orlando, Florida, has died of an apparent suicide. He was only 36 years old. His wife, Rhonda, and 3 children are left behind. He is the son of a preacher. And he himself became a pastor, founder of a church, was the former pastor. I do not know the circumstances behind his situation, what could have led to such a tragic situation to develop here. His father is Joel Hunter, senior pastor of 15,000-member church called Northland Church in Florida. This is a very, very, very... And also his father was a former member of President Barack Obama's Advisory Council on Faith-Based and Neighborhood Partnerships. So this is a very tragic story coming out of Florida. Please pray for his wife, Rhonda, their 3 children, and their church family and the community, as this is a very sad story. Again, 36-year-old former Florida megachurch founder and pastor Isaac Hunter, dead of suicide in Florida. I want to thank Penny of Virginia for that report. Also, there's been a blast just outside the U.S. Embassy in Kabul, Afghanistan. The blast occurred just outside the NATO-led military headquarters and near the U.S. Embassy in Afghanistan in Kabul. The Reuters reports that the blast struck within meters of the entrance to the U.S. Embassy. So I'm going to thank Nick of New York for that report. Also, unrest in Egypt. Egyptian police had to use tear gas, water cannons, as Egyptian riot police fired these things to disperse hundreds of pro-Islamic protesters who are demonstrating near the headquarters of the Ministry of Defense in downtown Cairo, Egypt. Egypt has been witnessing almost daily protests because there are still a few remnant supporters of the Islamic president Mohammed Morsi, the fierce king, the cruel lord that wreaked havoc in the nation of Egypt by allowing Christians to be crucified, murdered, churches burnt. Also, moderate Muslims were also tortured and killed under this fierce king, the cruel lord, who tried to implement Sharia law, who destroyed their constitution, wiped it out, fired 70 of their governors, replaced their a lot of their parliament people, dismissed the parliament at one point, enacted martial law on 3 cities. I mean, this guy was a fierce king, cruel lord. 14 million people protested to get him out of office after 1 year. And Egypt is now being run by the military council again. And as they try to prepare for new elections, new constitutions, they're trying to go back to being the same moderate Egypt that they were. But what's amazing, America's turned their back on them. When Mohammed Morsi took power, Obama administration flooded him with money and support. But when he lost power, he canceled all aid to the people. It's just kind of weird, actually, how this has played out. But it's part of the Arab Spring, which is in Daniel chapter 11, 41 through 45. It said that he shall enter into the glorious land, he being the Antichrist spirit, and many nations would be overtaken, including Egypt and Libya, and at the steps of Ethiopia. But Jordan wouldn't fall. Well, that's exactly what's happened. The Ivory Coast changed presidents. Tunisia got rid of Ben Ali. Egypt got rid of Hosni Mubarak. Libya got rid of Muammar Gaddafi. And Yemen got rid of Ali Saleh. And Syria tried to get rid of Assad. If it weren't for the Russians, who stepped in with the help of actually Hezbollah of Lebanon and even Iran, the United States and the United Kingdom and the Muslim Brotherhood, freedom fighters, the Syrians, would have overtaken Assad. It would have pretty well ran the gamut as it relates to nations surrounding Israel. But anyway, that didn't happen. Tidings from the north and from the east, out of Russia and out of China, slowed down the progress. Also, we have a report coming out of the Vatican. I want to thank Nick of New York also for this report. But the Pope is spoken. Pope Francis I said in his first peace message of his short term in the papacy so far, less than a year, he says that huge salaries and bonuses are symptoms of an economy based on greed and inequality, and it's called again for nations to narrow the wealth gap. In his message for the Roman Catholic Church World Day of Peace, which is marked for January 1st, 2014, he also calls for sharing of wealth and for nations to shrink the gap between the rich and the poor, more of whom are getting only crumbs. Well, in my new book coming out right now, Jerusalem Jihad, Pope Francis plays a key role in that book and some of the information that's coming from the Vatican. So I will let you know that that is a major part of what's going on as we look at the end times. Folks, don't miss today's show. We'll be on from 12 noon to 3 p.m. Eastern. That's 12 noon to 3 p.m. Eastern at my website, www.paulbegleyprophecy.com. That's www.paulbegleyprophecy.com. Don't miss the show. Jesse Waltman of BP Earthwatch is our guest today, and we've got a lot to cover. I'll see you guys this afternoon. God bless.